Good evening, Gray Moon. How are you doing, Gray Moon? Why, good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning, this night, this evening. I guess not evening, that really wouldn't work. John? I'm doing pretty good. I have no complaints. I figured this would be a pretty good thing to do a live on. It seems like it's gotten out of hand enough. Let's see here. Well, I don't think this will be too long tonight. There's other stuff I want to do, but why not? Let's do this real quick just because it's interesting. The Quaden Bayles thing has been an interesting thing. Yeah, it's definitely gone a bit out of hand. I think we're about good to go, though, with it being 1:30 in the morning. Just go ahead and do this and get this puppy done. Get it done. Man, yeah, so this has been really interesting to watch. The damn internet. John, I am drinking... I don't think it's anything special. I think it's just a dark coffee with, what is it? Sweet Italian creamer. So, I don't think it's anything too special. What are you drinking, John? Okay, and that's actually what we're going to try and do. We're going to try and squash this and put something out with a little bit more context than people are going off a Facebook post. Well, technically a tweet. That's really where a lot of this got screwed up. And you know, it's funny because today on Friday, we watched two things go completely stupid viral, and both of them were just based off a post. The other thing was the Bernie Sanders situation with 52% tax rate for anybody that made over $29,000, which isn't true. You can actually go to his website and look that up. You can actually see the whole plan. I think what is it? Senate.sanders.gov. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, this Quaden Bayles thing. This has been interesting. It really has, because it is kind of a good summary of how the internet works as a whole. Just not that long, like last week, days ago, this video went viral of 9-year-old Quaden Bayles. And Quaden is a dwarf. He's been a victim of bullying, and so his mother recorded this video, which I actually have the video pulled up. So we can actually walk through this whole little process, and that's what we're going to do, and kind of see how everything went. And you know what, let's even... Oh, that's not the one I wanted. That's the one I wanted. There we go. Let's just start right at the beginning. And this is the video that went viral and led to all of this.
So I've just picked my son up from school, witnessed a bullying episode, rang the principal, and I want people to know, parents, educators, teachers, this is the effect that bullying has. This is what bullying does. So can you please educate your children, your families, your friends, because all it takes is for one more instant and you wonder why kids are killing themselves.
Nine years old, Grey Wolf, or Grey Moon, Grey Wolf. I think I was just thinking of Grandma's boy.
I want to bang my head into a glove. I want someone to kill me and drown me.
And this is the impact bullying has on a 9-year-old kid that just wants to go to school, get an education and have fun, but every single freaking day something happens, another episode, another bullying, another taunt, another name calling. So is there any advice or support or anything that other parents or, families have done to help raise disability awareness and education within the school so that this doesn't happen? I've got some good advice, but I need more because this is the effect of bullying. This is what it's doing. And I want people to know how much it is hurting us as a family. I want people to educate their children. The whole anti-bullying shit isn't working. And I've got a son that is suicidal almost every single day. Every time there's a triggering anything that happens
Australia.
at school or in public, which is almost every time we're in public, and we're about to head into a shopping centre now. And I wish that I could record everything every instant when we're in public or have a hidden camera so that people could see. And this is the side that I don't choose to share. I choose to keep this private, but we can't do it anymore. We try to be as strong and positive as possible and only share the highlights, but this is how bullying affects a 9-year-old kid. And I've got to constantly keep my eye on him because of the suicide attempts. This is what bullying does, people. I've already called the school. It's been several times. Every time there's a new kid that's not aware of Quaden's condition, it's bullying. So we just went to pick him up and we saw a student patting him on the head and making fun of his height. And I said, "Do you want me to do something about it?" He ran to the car in hysterics because he doesn't want me to make a scene at the school. And God knows I will. Me and his sister were there. And we wanted to do something right there and then, but he wanted to come home. And now we have to deal with this. And I feel like I'm failing as a parent. I feel like the education system's failing. It is bloody hot as hell. And he was just on the basketball court having fun with the Brisbane Bullets. And it's the constant bullying, the name calling, like obviously pointing out his difference. So now we have a very severely suicidal child who's sick of the bullying that is every single day that he attends school or is in public. It's every single day and we're sick of it. So I just want people to know and see the impact, because this could be your child, or your child could be the bully that pushes a kid over the edge, and God forbid we lose another child to suicide because of the bullying. So any suggestions or advice would be greatly appreciated. So we're over dealing with this every single day of our lives. Anything you want to say before we go?
I want to kill you, Carolyn!
So the next person that does bully or harass or discriminate against him better watch the out. I'm serious. This ain't no joke no more. You better educate yourselves and your family and friends. Start doing something more in your schools, in your families, in the communities about disability awareness and education, because there is not enough, obviously. This should not be happening. This kid is with me 24/7. He lasted first term last year and was with me 24/7. Every single day, every single night he's with me because of the issues that bullying is causing. The negative public attention, which is why we've chosen to be more private now, but there's no escaping it. This is our reality. And it's like we have to get used to it. And I used to tell him, just ignore it. Well, no, ignoring it doesn't solve the problem. How does that address bullying if you choose to ignore it? It needs to be addressed straight away. And that's exactly what I'm doing now. Every time it happens, I'll be doing a live video so that people know. So hopefully we can make some changes so that this doesn't happen to another family, and hopefully we don't lose another young innocent life to bullying.
Okay, so that's the initial video. And I see over in the YouTube comments, a bunch of people are saying that something seems off. It seems like a scam. And that's another thing that is going on, which we'll kind of talk about that a bit too, because that part is a little bit more complex with this entire situation. But we'll just continue walking through the timeline, basically. So that video went viral. He's from Australia, and he even started getting celebrities backing him. Comic Brad Williams, and this part kind of adds into the scam, because people are saying that they did this just to put this GoFundMe together, and which there is a rather large GoFundMe. So far it's raised over $436,000, and I did that when I was setting up this live. So I mean, just in the time that it took me to set up this live, it went up another $3,000. It's almost at $440,000. One thing with this, though, is that this was actually started by Brad Williams. This GoFundMe was not started by the family. So as far as like the mom using the viral moment to set up this GoFundMe for the kid, that part isn't true. She didn't set up the GoFundMe. Let's send a wonderful kid to Disneyland. All that happened, of course, whatever. He ended up getting Hugh Jackman's attention as well. Where is that? Hugh Jackman did a video and sent out his support of Quaden, which I got that video right here too.
You are stronger than you know, mate. And no matter what, you've got a friend in me. So everyone, let's please be kind to each other. Bullying is not okay, period. Life is hard enough. So let's just remember, every person in front of us is facing some kind of battle. So let's just be kind.
My man,
JD Moore.
I don't know your name. I don't know your mom's name, but I saw your video. What I want you to know is that you have friends, me included. I am your buddy. You haven't met me yet, but we'll see if we can change that, for one. Maybe your mom can DM me. You have a bunch of friends out here, out in the world that you haven't met yet. But we're here and we got your back. And you need to know that. It'll get better. Kids, as the dad of a 9-year-old, kids can be horrible, and that's because their parents aren't doing their job. It's going to be better. It's going to get better. Sorry, it'll get better. I promise it will. You hang in there. All right? DM me.
Hey, Quaden, how you going, guys? Just want to wish you all the best, brother. We know you're going for a hard time right now, but the boys are here. We've got your back. We're here to support you, bud. And we just want to make sure that you're doing all right and make sure that your mum's on your side, we're on your side. And just make sure you're just thinking the right things, bud, because we want you around. We want you to lead us out on the weekend. And it's going to mean it won't more to us than it will to you, bud. So just make sure you're looking after yourself, and hopefully we'll get to see you in the next couple of days. Yeah, brother.
Okay, so the kid was getting support from all over the world, which is a good thing. But then, and see, again, there's like two parts of this. This, again, does play into a bigger thing where people really should fact check before just sharing stuff. Like, man, I can't stress that enough. Memes and random posts are great. Sometimes they're true, but it takes minutes to look something up. So this tweet went out from a Jasmine Doe, was the original post, claiming that Quaden is actually 18. And the internet fucking ran with this. They took off with this allegation from an Instagram account, and this number 18, which actually it appears that the 18 is from his cousin's birthday. So first and foremost, I just wanted to touch on that because that was pretty shitty all around. The kid's actually 9. This was posted on his first birthday, in 2011, 7th birthday in 2017, to the Facebook account of his mother, but then also the mother deleted her Facebook. Quaden actually deleted his Instagram as well. And I'm guessing that's because the internet got pretty pissed off. And they just ran with this. This tweet went viral, this screenshot went viral and started getting shared everywhere on Facebook, on Twitter. Then people found this, that Quaden is actually an actor, and it just added to it. And people were like, he's an 18-year-old actor fucking scamming all of you. And that's not true. He is an actor to a degree. It looks like he's done okay in life, but he's not an 18-year-old actor. New York Post also, which I have a bunch of links in the description that shows all these different sources that I'm going through tonight. Not all of them are on it yet because of the streaming software I use. So after I get done streaming this, I'll go back into the description and add a few more of these links. New York Post has this picture from his mom's Facebook in 2012. Then there's this picture of him in 2011. So as far as him being 18 or 9, he's 9. Like, that part is complete and total bullshit. But it really sucks because this thing's so weird because the internet grabbed this 9-year-old child that was being bullied, then believed a random tweet that he was actually 18 years old, and so then they went on to bully the shit out of him because he was 18 and not 9. That was pretty amazing how they did that. But this guy, this is one of the people why. And if you look at that view count, almost 500,000 people have watched this dude, which I don't even know.
Hello. Hope you can hear me. I'm sure a lot of you have probably seen this so far, like in the last day or two. And if you haven't, you need to see it. This kid is being bullied. He's being bullied, and he is so sad. It's heartbreaking to watch this. It's so sad. Look, just take a look at it and see how it makes you feel.
I'm gonna die right now.
So I've just picked my son up from school, witnessed a bullying episode, rang the principal, and I want people to know, parents, educators, teachers, this is the effect that bullying has.
I'm gonna kill myself.
This is what bullying does.
I want to die right now. Give me a knife, I'm going to kill myself, is what he said. Because he's being bullied at school. And the mom's having to record it. Because no one's doing anything about it. That's horrible, ain't it? Continue watching. Watch a little more.
So can you please educate your
That
children,
mic, though.
your families, your friends? Because all it takes is for one more instant and you wonder why kids are killing themselves.
Give me it right now. I'll freaking stab myself in the car. You watch me? Even you too, Carolyn, I'm looking at you. You don't even do anything. Everything's good. Got me the dumbest kid in the class.
It's. What do you think about that? How does that make you feel? They've got a GoFundMe up now, and people are giving them money. People have heard the message and they're giving them money. When they shouldn't be. That the kid's not being bullied. It's just been out a day. It's not hard to research. And he's not being bullied. He's an actor. He's 18. You can find his Instagram. He's got 200,000 followers. He wears Gucci. He's got plenty of money. There's photos of him with celebrities and in nice cars. Yeah, he looks and sounds like a kid. He's a good actor. You can find his acting profile where you can hire him. And people feel bad for him. They think this is real. They think he's being bullied, and they think that he feels this bad. He's tricked y'all. He's lied to y'all. He's lied to everybody, and people are giving him money because he's that good of an actor. Now, if he does a performance, if he's acting, and you know he's acting, and he's doing a film, and it says that it's a film, and you want to give him money because of that, cool. But no, he has lied. He's acted like he is a kid and he's being bullied. He had a woman pose as his mother who's concerned about him, and he threatened to kill himself on video, pretending it's real to get money. No, that's terrible. If y'all don't know about this, if y'all have seen the video and you think it's real, don't give it money. Don't give them money. Spread this. Show people that it's not real. Okay? That's just horrible. He's lying to all of you.
What do you get for working? What do you get for working? See? Work every day.
Yeah, lad.
Much money, bro.
Yeah, lad.
See?
That's it, eh, bro?
This is what you get for
That's it, eh,
working,
Brett?
see?
Oosh, oosh,
All
oosh,
that
oosh.
money.
So yeah, that's the basic argument people are going with, which again, this is Quaden in 2011. But there's other shit going with that too. But unfortunately, like, this kid is getting pretty ripped apart. I mean, if you YouTube search Quaden Bayles scam artist, these are all the videos that come up. And it's a pretty long list. Like, the internet's just pounding the shit out of this kid after loving him just days ago. So, yeah, I know that mic was pretty impressive. That dude's mic game was super strong. This is where it kind of crosses over into the other part of this, because obviously the kid's 9 years old. And so the 9-year-old did not come up with this scam to do a GoFundMe and all this shit. That, I think everybody can rule that out. It's very unlikely that a 9-year-old child came up with this huge elaborate internet hoax in hopes that a fellow dwarf who happens to be a famous comedian would start him a GoFundMe that would raise over $400,000. That's common sense, boys and girls. There is another. Why did people start? Once again, this is why. Because of this tweet, this post right here, and his Instagram account, and a picture from his cousin's 18th birthday is why people started thinking that he was 18. This account, by the way, has been deleted since all this went viral. That Jasmine Dow account, that account is gone. You cannot find that anymore. But again, this kind of leads to a whole other part of this question of, like, the mom's involvement and, like, what all she's been doing. This is a video of the mom speaking after Everything went viral. This was actually just posted yesterday.
Oh, he said it was going from the worst day of his life to the best day of his life. So I think that sums it up perfectly. We've always had amazing community support, especially from, you know, the footy boys. They're all his uncles, related to most of them, so they've always been there, but nowhere near the amount of support. We could never have dreamt in our wildest dreams that it would have gone worldwide and created such a media frenzy. I mean, just being contacted non-stop and people rocking up at our house and contacting every single person. It's far exceeded anything we could have imagined. It's every parent's worst nightmare, losing their babies, and for me that's my reality every day. That's what I have to prepare for, the worst, because everything he's going through, and with his medical condition, the suicide attempts are very real and people don't understand that. On top of that, being an Aboriginal boy with a disability, people don't understand that's a double-edged sword. You're discriminated against. It's racism, and then also discriminated against because of a disability. So it's extremely hard, but it's also strengthening. It's brought a whole family together, strengthened us. It's brought a whole community together. It's brought, you know, the whole short-statured people of the world together in helping raise and make sure that he's safe. So our first priority is obviously his health and well-being, and we're trying to keep him as protected as possible. With going public, there are pros and cons, so his safety and health and well-being is always our first priority. So there are way too many people suffering in silence, and my heart goes out to those families that have already lost their children to bullying. It's been way too many, and it's something that needs to be addressed. It's an international crisis, and it demands urgent attention.
Okay, so again, that was from the mom yesterday, and I will say some of the like how smiley and good she is in front of the camera. I mean, I don't know. You know, is it enough to say that she's responsible for this huge scam thing? I don't think that it's a scam. Again, as far as scams go, like, they didn't start the GoFundMe. So if anything, they did all this to hope for a GoFundMe. Now, another argument has been, though, that the mom is exploiting Quaden and his disability, which that's kind of I don't know. That's a toss-up. Here's some of the stuff that he has been on in the past. Like in April 2015, there was this from Studio 10.
Quaden Bayles is 4 years old, and this little boy from Brisbane is a powerhouse. He's inspiring an amazing campaign to raise awareness about dwarfism. He's already been...
Which, by the way, again, this was posted April 12, 2015. So just to go back to the argument that he's 18, he's not fucking 18. He's 9 years old. He's 9. Like, let go of that argument.
Through several bouts of surgery with plenty of support from celebrities like this famous singer.
Hey Quady, it's Guy Sebastian here. Just wanted to say good luck for your surgery today. I hope it all goes well. Peace out.
And Quaden Bayles and his mum Uraka join us now from Brisbane. Welcome to the show. Now, Quaden has a form of dwarfism. How does that affect his body exactly?
Yeah, so Quaden was born with achondroplasia. It's the most common form of dwarfism. Obviously, it's a bone dysplasia, so it's a stunted growth condition which affects majorly these 4 bones that don't grow at the same rate as the other bones in his body. So the average height of someone with dwarfism is around 4 foot, but it varies.
Yeah, he looks very cute, but he has spoken out about people staring at him, and you posted a video of him that went viral.
Yeah, I posted that on the 1st of October last year, which was Dwarfism Awareness Month. And that's when things started changing for us. So every day in public can become quite challenging. It's not all the time. There are some really lovely people out there that show their support, but you're always going to get the odd one that, you know, tries to point his differences out. And I actually was just walking along in a shopping centre and a group of girls would stop and then they'd tell a friend, and then it ended up being a few other people, and they were all just pointing and staring and making it quite obvious. So I just thought I'd, you know, put the phone on record, and it just looked like I was on the phone. And it was just him saying, stop looking at me. He actually made me aware that they were looking and looking and looking because they were walking right behind us. And he said, like, at least 10 times, stop looking at me. And that's, he's quite aware of it, and it's not something that we make him aware of. It's just something that, you know, he can't escape, and unfortunately it's something we have to get used of.
Well, we'd like to show that video now. Let's take a look.
Dog looking at me.
What you do?
Looking at me.
It's okay.
I don't know.
You don't like everybody looking at you?
Oh, yeah, I reckon we've just seen that video and it makes your heart break, and even more so for you, it must be hard. As a mum, what sorts of strategies do you put in place to make sure that your beautiful little boy doesn't take too much of that on board?
It's something fairly new to me, so I'm just learning, and the great thing is, with sharing our journey on social media, we've been able to get great advice and support from people with dwarfism all around the world. And as a single mum, you know, I'm still readjusting to life as a single mum and raising him. So I've reached out on social media and asked for support and advice, like, how do you guys handle the staring and, you know, like the name calling? He's had a couple of recent not so nice comments on Facebook, just commenting on his physical appearance. And it's quite tough, but you know what? We've raised him to be a strong, confident Aboriginal boy who just so happens to be born with dwarfism, and I think that's the best we can do by just embracing differences, by letting everyone know, you know, that, yeah, we're all beautiful, we're all different, and we need to embrace and celebrate that.
Oh, good on you, Yarika. And you have been doing an absolutely outstanding job of that yourself. And of course, you've got a bunch of really high-profile celebrities and footy players who've gotten on board to say this isn't okay, because God, it makes my blood boil when I see stuff like this. Tell us about that.
The support has just been amazing. It's been really overwhelming. We weren't really expecting anything at all. All I wanted to do was share our journey to help raise much needed dwarfism awareness in Australia. And Quaden's a huge footy fan, so I just thought, you know, if there were people out there that could just help cheer him up, his journey in hospital. It's been weeks and weeks on end in hospital at times. And so a lot of his favourite footy stars have just come on and said, you know, well, he spent his 4th birthday in hospital in December. For 2 weeks he was in ICU after surgery there.
Yarika, what is the surgery for? What are they trying to do with this?
So he had an MRI and standard procedures, which are the tubes in to drain fluid out of his ears, the adenoids out and tonsils out. So that makes room for them to breathe better. So he's got severe obstructive sleep apnea, which can cause a lot of pressure in the brain around the head. So most children with achondroplasia are born with hydrocephalus, which is apparent, the big head, but I say no, they're very smart, so it's the big brains that show with the big head. He's very highly intelligent. So he's had the MRI in December, and we actually got the news on his birthday that the MRI was showing the fluid and pressure, which is why they'd done the decompression surgery, which is also quite common for children with dwarfism. Because the big head pushes down on the spinal cord, he had a lot of bruising and swelling and intracranial pressure there. So that was 2 weeks ago. He had he was rushed in for emergency cesarean, emergency surgery. I had the emergency cesarean with him. That was 4 years ago. So he had the decompression surgery a fortnight ago, and just Wednesday, a few days ago, he had tonsils and adenoids out again and grommets put back in, and he'll be having another MRI. So we're just hoping and praying that the next results are a lot better. Unfortunately, the last surgery wasn't too well, so his oxygen levels are still really low because he stops breathing so much through the night He sleeps with a CPAP machine on every night just to help with his breathing, and that's a bit of a struggle at the moment. But, you know, above and beyond, like, he's doing really good for a 4-year-old. He doesn't complain. He doesn't even take the pain relief in hospital. He doesn't like taking any medicine. He just puts up with it, and, you know, he's just a warrior. He's so strong, and I draw my strength from him. You know, I'm able to do it and share our story because he's so good, and it just makes it so much easier for me because he's such a good kid.
Oh, he certainly kept us entertained these last 4 minutes with that big, beautiful smile. I think Jess said it best as well, Yarika. You are such a remarkable mother and you have so much strength. Thank you for joining us. The campaign is called Stand Tall. All the details are on our Facebook page. Make sure you get amongst it and be part of it. It is a great movement. Thank you so much for coming on the show, guys.
All right, then later on in April, which we're not going to watch this whole thing. This is like 25 minutes long, but again, I'll put all these links in the description. If you are watching this later or now and you want to come back and watch this whole thing, feel free to. Apparently it's a Living Black, which I'm not really sure what Living Black is. Living Black presents a special report on Murray boy Quaden Bayles, who suffers from a condition that affects 1 in every 250,000 people. So yeah, this link will be in the description, but we'll just check out this for a minute. And again, this is in April 2015 too, so it's in the same month of the interview that we just watched a minute ago. Or not even a minute ago.
Hello and welcome to Living.
Grey Moon on the, would this be Munchausen? No. If she's exploiting her kid, no. Obviously there is a disability here. Munchausen, she'd be 100% faking the actual disease and then trying to milk that for attention. As far as using an actual disability to exploit, I think that would just be shitty. Pretty much. That I don't think there's much of a actual term for it. I think it's just a shitty thing to do if that's what she's doing. But no, I wouldn't put that towards Munchausen, just because she's not having to do anything extra. She's not having to fake that he has dwarfism. There's no anything like that going on. Munchausen cases, you know, they're normally causing symptoms so that they have to get some sort of medical attention. So.
Black, I'm Carla Grant. This week, the story of Quaden Bayles, a resilient 4-year-old who was born with achondroplasia, a common form of dwarfism. Since birth, Quaden has struggled with health complications, leaving him no stranger to hospitals. Our journalist Hannah Hollis met Quaden and his family and followed them on an emotional journey as they prepare for high-risk brain and spinal surgery.
Four-year-old Quaden Bayles is just 65 centimetres tall, the size of a 6-month-old baby. He is a brave Murray boy who was born with achondroplasia, which means without cartilage formation. It's one of 200 types of dwarfism. Since birth, he's proved good things can come in small packages. When we first meet Quaden, he's waiting in his hospital room, playing on his iPad and spending time with his mum and big sisters. We're waiting to go into emergency surgery that, if successful, will keep him out of a wheelchair. But Quaden's story starts in a different hospital room.
I'll give you Munchausen-ish.
Just 72 hours after he was born,
Munchausen-ish
Yarika's euphoria at the birth of her
could
new
be
son
appropriate.
would be replaced by heartbreak.
To hear the doctor tell you that, you know, there's something wrong with the child, there was nothing that could ever have prepared me for that, because, you know, I gave birth, everything was sweet. We were packing up on the way out of the hospital. Me, his dad and the twins were in the room.
he's 3 days old, we're all good to go. And then a lady came in, didn't introduce herself. So she had 2 pieces of paper and just said something along the lines of, you know, your son's got achondroplasia, here's some information, you can stay extra if you like. And I was like, no, we're cool, we're gone. And I just blocked it out as soon as I was numb, didn't acknowledge it, didn't accept it, straight into denial, shock, all these, you know, different emotions at once.
The news rocked the family.
Okay, so like I said, that's Living Black, season 2. S 2015, episode 4. Regardless, I'll put that up in the description, or add it to both the descriptions. I'm not sure if that one's in there yet. It might be. But like I said, I had a limit on how many characters I could put in the description through the streaming service stuff that I'm using right now. Then there's this. This video is only a minute 34 seconds. This was from March 28th, 2017. And it's called Quaden Bayles, Belonging and Acceptance.
Hello, my name's Quaden, and Hello, my name's Quaden, I'm a fabulous double boy, and my Quaden is carpet snake.
Hi, my name's Quaden Bayles, and I'm representing the Wonnarua and Bundjalung tribes on my mum's side.
One thing I do want to point out, just going back to the 18-year-old thing, if you look at his mouth back in 2017, like he's been losing teeth throughout these pictures and whatnot. The picture from 2011 again, right there. The teeth part is kind of meeting up with matching up with all the age thing is all I'm saying. Like again, just can't reiterate enough that the kid's 9. He's not 18. This is not an 18-year-old adult.
That's from the Hunter Valley and northern New South Wales areas. And on my dad's side, he's Birragubba and Gungaloo from around central Queensland. So what does being Aboriginal mean to you?
Happy.
Makes you happy, hey? So what culture means to us as First Nations people is belonging to the oldest continuing race in the world. And that is just the biggest blessing ever. And that's what we instill in our children as our parents and grandparents instilled in us, to be proud of who we are and where we came from. And our message to the world is one of inclusion. We love sharing our journey to help raise awareness of embracing others' differences and just of equality. So we do that just by speaking out about injustice and our personal experiences, and in the hopes of just empowering, encouraging and inspiring other people to also do the same.
Okay, so yeah, the kid definitely has a history of being put on camera, and obviously being 9 years old, that was not him making the calls on that. So as far as some of the people saying, you know, somewhat pushing, the exploiting or pushing her kid's illness or disability for personal gain, I mean, that's one of those ones that's really, it's something. But okay, so there's also this screenshot going around, which, and also I see this going on in the Facebook comments, between YouTube and Facebook. There's like two different, I guess, not really debates, but this keeps on being brought up. With the donations, it is said that he's only keeping $10,000 to go to Disneyland. And then all the rest of the money is going to be donated to some sort of, I believe, an anti-bullying campaign. And again, they didn't start the GoFundMe, but even above that, for all the people that are super pissed, the kid's 9. So if you want to go the exploitation scam route, go for the mom, but maybe don't target the 9-year-old that just went viral for being bullied, regardless of any of this other shit. Just saying. But this screenshot's been going around. This kid goes to my kid's school. He and his mother are all known, or are well known throughout the school, not for good reasons. The kid has a bad attitude and constantly teases other kids, then cries when the kids give it back to him. I don't condone bullying, but this kid incites it. Then he has the audacity to bitch about. Don't believe the story. That first part's a little marked out. The article leads off with activist name here instead of just the mother's name, or mentioning it later in the article that she is also an activist. That kind of makes me figure they are attention seekers. Not really the great. Okay, first off, before going completely ape shit because of something like that, let's remember that right now, today, like throughout most of Friday, people were completely pissed at a 9-year-old because of a Facebook post. Like, that's literally what got us here. So again, I can't stress enough when it comes to the Facebook posts and the memes and the Twitter, Facebook memes and shit, don't just go off of those, for the love of God. I really don't even know on that one. So I don't know. That comment says that the kid and the mom are kind of assholes. Don't think it's really that grave an argument. A lot of people have said that, like, the kid, Quaden, like the fact that he was wearing Gucci and flashing money shows that he's just faking it, and are kind of like trying to link it to a whole you're not depressed with the Gucci clothes and the money, which in itself is kind of a problematic argument that's popping up from this whole ordeal that I kind of wanted to touch on too, because there's a man by the name of Robin Williams. Even, you know, there's plenty of examples, but I just first thought of Robin Williams, one of the funniest guys, rich, not a lot of problems in the world, not a lot of things going on, we would think, or people looking on the outside that maybe wish that they had everything that he had. There was still enough problems there for Robert Williams to die from suicide. So as far as this weird comparison of like Gucci clothes and money equals there's no way that this person could be depressed, stop that. Bad internet, don't do that. That is a really stupid argument. As far as everything else goes, you know, honestly, I don't really... This is just one of those things. I don't know. Obviously, some of the things, because, okay, her first time going viral was her kid at a very young age, 2015, so he'd be like 4 years old. And it's her kid crying and telling people not to look at him in a store. Kind of an odd moment to choose to record your kid and throw it on social media. Super weird flex. There is that whole argument of trying to raise awareness, getting that out there, that kind of stuff. You're not going to really have that awareness. You're not really going to get that message out there if you don't record that kind of stuff and put it out there. And she's also been an activist for this kid for a while. So, I mean, I don't know. I can see both sides, but it definitely does feel like she may be pushing it a little bit. She may know what she's doing there. The video, or not the first video, but this video that actually went viral just recently with the wanting to kill himself. Again, really weird time to record your kid. Super weird time to pull out your cell phone and decide to start recording your 9-year-old and then post that on social media. Because the kid is literally talking about killing himself. So again, that's a really weird time to be recording, really weird thing to push out there. But if she is an activist and, you know, there is that whole trying to get it out there, I don't know though. The main thing though, overall, the main reason why I wanted to do this is because the kid is not 18. He's not an 18-year-old that was acting like a child to try and scam the world. He didn't start the GoFundMe. The mom didn't start the GoFundMe. None of that happened. And it sounds like the majority of the money is not being kept by them, even they're just going to Disneyland. So I don't know, though. That's about all I got on this. I told you this wasn't really going to be a long one. Again, all supporting links and everything are in the description of everything that I showed in this video tonight. As soon as this gets done being live and like saves to YouTube and Facebook, I will 100% update those descriptions, and you can see some of the other stuff that I was looking at. And let me know in the comments, even after this live, if you stumble upon this video, let me know what you guys think. Again, this is just one of those things where you can't really just say the mom is a scam artist. You don't know her intentions. We don't know her intentions. It can look like whatever people want it to look like, but that's just a whole different debate. But as far as the child goes, Quaden is not 18. That's the main thing I can't stress enough. And there is a good chance that he is still being bullied, even if he's a little asshole kid. Kids are little assholes. So not really a fair defense to go after this 9-year-old in Australia. So I don't know. Again, let me know in the comments. If you got any helpful links or anything, feel free to drop those there. And with that, I think we are going to go ahead and end this live. So you guys have a good weekend. On Sunday, I think I've been working on a big old Sovereign live stream and article. It took way longer than I thought. The article's like 7,000 words in, which normally I try and keep it around 12 to 1,500 words. On Sunday, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that live stream. Instead of kind of focusing on some of the main group people that we have, anybody that's been following my lives, like the Field McConnell and Fran and Kirk Pendergrass and all them, it's not really going to be focused on them. Instead, I'm literally going to do a walkthrough of the sovereign citizen movement since it started in 1971 under Posse Comitatus, all the way up to what it is now, and go through some of the other instances that has gotten this group to the point where they're considered domestic terrorists by the FBI. So, like I said, I think that'll be Sunday, probably Sunday night. Be good all around, especially if you're following that whole thing, because it can give a little bit more information on exactly how these people are frauding people, why it's bad to listen to them, and some of the dangers that comes with it. So, I will probably release that article tomorrow. We'll see if I can't get that finished up tonight. And then, like I said, that live will be on Sunday. And Ray Reynolds, yes, you are 100% correct. Field McConnell has been extradited from Wisconsin to Florida. So that did happen. Even as we start to branch off with these different lives and whatnot, we're still always going to keep an eye on our sovereign crazies, and we'll probably start moving over to some like black salve and other medical crazies, just because we got to keep them around. So anyways, thank you for watching. Remember, he's not 18. Don't pick on 9-year-olds. Don't pick on 9-year-olds. No matter what you think of them. It's that simple. Come on. This isn't a conversation that should even happen ever. If you're a full-grown adult, don't pick on a fucking 9-year-old in Australia, even if you think his mom is a terrible person. Leave the kid out of it. He's not doing it. So everybody have a good weekend, and I will see you on Sunday, maybe tomorrow if something pops up. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. But at the very least, Sunday. So